Hey everybody, this is Nova19 Plays Supreme Commander 2. This is a real-time strategy game like Command and Conquer, but on a much larger scale. And, well, no point in talking about it, I will show you it. They've picked a one-on-one map, something small. I will show you my personal strategy for playing on this map and other maps like it, and I will also close the window to shut out the outside world. I'm fighting, I think it's the Cybran faction. Not that it means anything to you. It doesn't mean anything to me, and I've played the game. And I'm playing as the blue guys, fighting the red guys. Anyway, time to launch. So yeah, so these are the flags of the three only factions in the game, and I couldn't care at all about any of them. Any time now. Anytime you're ready. Right, so you start off with 2 engineers and your armoured command unit. So what you do is you press left shift when you've got the mass extractor selected, and you can just click on all these placement areas for the mass extractors. And what that does is it queues them all. So that engineer bot there will just go around and build them all in sequence. You get another one, and you build 4 power plants. You get him, and you go over here, and you build about 5 heavy point defense units. You just start building. You got research points which generate over time. So what you do is you just open up the research tab, the tech tree, and go over to structure. And at first I will be making my way across this tree, this line here, to get to the mass converter. And what that does is it takes the power you're generating up here, the energy, and turns it into mass, which you can use to build units and so on. The only problem with this game is it does include a lot of waiting, so you'll be standing around here for quite a while. Doesn't the time just fly? Oh look, the enemy. Yeah, they have, because I'm fighting the Cybrans, they have, it'll come to me, an air unit which is both a fighter and a bomber. Lucky me. So I think they just keep on sending a bunch of them over to me. Alright, that's enough of that. Build about 3 anti-aircraft guns. That should do it. Now that's done, move that over here. Actually, no, keep that around by the mass extractors, because what the AI tends to do is send a bunch of their engineers to come and take over your structures, which is very annoying. Hey, there we go. Now what you can do in this game, because the main currency is mass, when you destroy enemy units, you can take what's left of them and you can add it to your mass. So the more enemy units you kill, you can just send about 2 or 3 engineers to absorb all the mass that's left behind from the remains. Right, I know what I can do with that one. I can build a few research stations, and what that does is it increases the rate at which I gain research points. Oof. It goes slow, that's the only problem. It goes really slow at the beginning of the game. When you're setting up your base and you're setting up your defences and so on, this game can go like a snail. It's awful. But it does pick up later on. Well, that's that. And this is really going slow, ain't it? Yeah, you finish off that. I think you stopped building it halfway through. Right, of course. So, I've built the first 2. That decreases the build time and that decreases the cost. That increases your energy income, that increases your mass income, and the mass converter takes the power you make and turns it over to mass, which I really need. Because as you can see, mass generation in this game is pretty slow. That's the reason why it takes so long to actually do something in this game. But the map is pretty good, so that works in the game's favour. This game is sort of a real-time strategy game like Command and Conquer, but on a massive scale. Like as you can see, is a 500 unit cap, so you can have about 200 units to 300 units, if that, on the map at any time, providing or play strategy. Mine is just to nuke off the enemy in an assassination game, because the AI is not very smart when it comes to underhanded tactics like the ones I use. So what they do is they keep their armoured command unit in the middle of their base. So 1 nuke and it's nearly destroyed. 2 nukes and you've won the game. But we will soon see if that strategy works now. So I take a land factory and I build one there. I go over here and I build about 5 heavy point defences. Go up here and I build a bit more. Because the heavy point defences do come in handy when they try and storm the bridge. But these are to stop engineers from coming onto the beach and taking over the mass extractors or any other buildings. Right, so not long now, got that and then that. And you're more or less done then. You're set for the game. If you've built up your defences, if you're ready for any enemy incursion, then you're ready for anything. Now, the engineer, other than building buildings, can also be used to help out in producing units. It increases the rate at which land factories can produce units, but any sort of factory for that matter. It could be sea or air or land. As long as you've got an engineer on it, it can help produce units faster. And as you can see here, I have a load of dead enemies, and I'll send my armoured command unit around to absorb all the mass that's left behind from the remains, and that increases my available mass. It actually increases the rate per second, so I get a little boost, I do. So there we go, got the mass extractors. I need an engineer, a free engineer. He'll do. Go to advanced, there you go, mass extractor facility. And I'll build 4 here, just out of the way.
Commander under attack.
Whoa, that's a lot. Okay, was not expecting such a large attack force so soon. And I have no anti-air guns. So what I will... yes. And look, an engineer. Yay! Go and capture him, because you can capture enemy engineers in this game, which help a lot. And the rocket launchers help, sort of, although they are a bit behind. I will take the AA guns, the anti-aircraft guns, and move them over here to attack the air units. What I should have done, which I am going to do now, is build a few anti-aircraft guns around there, and a few shield generators as well. Now what the shield generator does, if you haven't guessed already, is it, well, creates a shield. It generates a shield to protect the units that fall under its radius, as you will soon see. Boom. So units outside the shield generator that fire on it won't be able to damage the units that are in the shield generator until the hit points that you can see there, the health and the shield. The shield is the hit points for the actual shield, and the health is the hit points for the structure. So if they take down the shield, then they can just destroy anything that was protected by it. Long range artillery. Send them over there. Send these guys over here. Hopefully... what's this? That's just a bit bold, I guess. But it's obviously not going to work. Right, so I will build a few power plants per year. Now this is the enemy engineer, and if you're lucky enough you can capture them and then start using them to produce buildings that are unique to the enemy faction, as I am doing now. Oh, that will take a while to make, but that doesn't matter. You can just leave that engineer build them all. Now you go and take these two, and you choose about, I don't know how many that was, I think it was about 10. Choose about 10 tanks. That is what you will be working towards, the nuke missile silo. Comes in very handy. To get there a bit faster,
Commander
you can
under
build...
attack.
My commander is under attack. There we go. Yeah, it stops them from firing from the outside. It stops them from damaging the units on the inside, but it does not stop them from entering the shield. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind. They could just walk up really close to your units and enter the shield and destroy them. Yeah, that defense is holding up rather nicely, so I will move over here. And see how this is going. Because I can see from here that there's another enemy engineer coming over to take over one of my buildings. And currently I have no defense against it. I now have a nuke missile silo. Joy. Do not fire on the building. And they have. This is one of the views which come in handy for seeing the larger picture of the battle. You can select units, groups of units, give them orders, tell them where to go and so on, launch nukes, see enemy positions if you haven't got the fog of war turned on. So what do I think of this game? Well, I think it's rather enjoyable. It does have its moments that I think that perhaps the AI is a little too unbalanced. Like with then again, that's with most real-time strategy games. The AI seems to be about 15 steps ahead of the player. Before you get your first unit, they have like a small army and attacking you, and the game's only just started, and you have no idea how they're able to do it. The anti-aircraft is working rather nicely. Right, so fix that and carry on making more. No, more, yes. Selected the wrong building. And where else can I go? And you select the long range artillery, which comes in very handy, I might add. throughout the game. Yeah, well, this is about it. It's about a stalemate at the moment, because I am still building the things I need, and the enemy is just attacking me blindly, just sending units one by one or in small groups, which is why this game, you know, is best played against a human opponent, because the AI can provide a challenge, but you know, it doesn't really adapt its strategy like a human player would. Usually you'll just send units to your base repeatedly over and over again. Collect the mass extractor,
Commander
capture
under
it.
attack.
My commander is under attack, is it? What's under attack? I will build 2 shield generators to provide extra protection. Keep them there. Move these guys over here. Yeah, that will be the next unit I unlock. The Titan Assault Bot. I wanted him to capture it, not destroy it. Now that may seem like a big force, but it's not really. Not by the standards of this game. 45 units I've got there, and I plan to build a hell of a lot more. And I am developing my first nuclear warhead. The moment I launch that, it is more or less, you know, the end of the game anyway. Providing that the AI has not built any nuclear defense silos. Because what they do, they shoot down the nuclear missile in mid-flight. And most of the time, you cannot see that coming. You just launch the nuke and you hope for the best. And prepare for the worst. Convert. As you can see, the conversion is pretty handy. building, you know, about a dozen and a half power plants also helps as well. Because as you can see, it's about 210 energy per second I'm producing. And if you just leave that sort of, you know, accumulate, then you can have 60,000 energy in no time. And that conversion for 4 of them takes about 10,000 energy per conversion. I got my first nuke, and my first 2 long-range cannons are up and running. Now if you do play this game, or if you're thinking about getting it and trying it out, then I do recommend the long-range cannons, because they can fire the entire length of the map and destroy the enemy base. You can just build about 12 of them and bombard the enemy base. And as you can see, I have launched my nuke. And hopefully it will take out quite a large amount of the enemy base, because I've targeted the middle area of 4 mass extractors. So here we go. And there we go. I almost destroyed their armoured command unit, docks. They've only got about 5,000 hit points left out of 20. So what I can do is take that and just tell them to bombard that area. I could also send them and take this and launch another nuke. I got 82 units there in total. I haven't even reached half of my unit limit, my unit capacity. So there we go. I am bombarding that area with my long-range cannons, and I've launched a second nuke, which is about to hit now. Boom. Now my long-range cannons might actually take out their armoured command unit. There we go. Does that work? No? I can't tell. So I will take this. One more nuke there should finish them off. This is more or less my strategy for this game. Just build up a decent ground force in case everything goes south, and head for the nukes.
Commander destroyed.
And there we go, I've won. Kaboom! And if you can adapt that strategy for other maps. With this one it works really well because it's one-on-one, and you don't really have to, there's only about 3 or 4 areas you have to focus your defences on. But with other maps, with maps that have about 3 players or 4 players, there can be up to about 6 or 8 points where you have to focus your attention on in terms of defence. But you can adapt that strategy for nearly any map, so bear that in mind. I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember to like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you again. See ya.